that you do not want to see World War III. But is it possible?
An ABC News reporter scolded President Joe Biden for ruling out World War III too quickly. If you think I'm joking, watch this video.
Cecilia, ABC. There you are.
Oh, thank you. Sir, you've made it very clear in this conflict that you do not want to see World War III. But is it possible that in expressing that so early that you were too quick to rule out direct military intervention in this war? Could Putin have been emboldened knowing that you are not going to get involved directly in this conflict?
No one know.
All right. First, credit here to Joe Biden for quickly shutting down this bullshit. This has just been constant. I'm going to get to another video shortly showing you, it's a supercut of several members of the media asking kind of the same thing, basically pushing for escalation with Russia. When you catch yourself, this is a direct quote from this reporter. You do not want to see a World War III, but if you catch yourself saying that, realize how ridiculous you sound. This is, I mean, the blame can go many places. A lot of the issue here is the media's reliance on the opinions of people that work for defense contractors, of retired generals. This is often the company they keep, the perspectives they take on. So if that's the perspective you take on, then you're going to think escalation, showing strength, that's the right way to go, as opposed to diplomacy. Where are the questions about diplomacy? They are rare. They are few and far between. Most of them are like this. It's completely insane. And on the point, before I get to the next clip, on the point of the no-fly zone, I've said this several times, but in case you don't know, because apparently a lot of people didn't know what a no-fly zone was until this came up recently, and that's fine. It's not your job to know unless it is. A no-fly zone would mean the U.S. shooting down Russian planes over Ukraine, meaning a direct military conflict with a nuclear power, meaning nuclear war. Do you want that? Is that going to help Ukraine? Now, you may ask yourself, well, then why is Zelensky calling for this? He must think, assuming he's in good faith in asking for this, he must think that Putin isn't going to go there, is not going to risk, using nukes. He also, Zelensky and the media in Ukraine also thought that Putin would not invade Ukraine. And they did. Even though it hasn't really helped. I mean, it hasn't helped Russia. It hasn't helped Putin. This is why people thought they wouldn't invade. They had good reason to think that. But now that we see that Putin is not acting rationally, maybe don't push his buttons. Maybe don't start shooting down Russian planes and just assume he's not going to use nukes. Like, this idea that showing Putin's strength is going to work is so misguided. What has Putin shown you to make you think that he is acting rationally, that he's going to back down? Why would he, the guy that's trying to show strength, why would he suddenly back off if you start shooting his planes down? Are you insane? Now let me get to the next clip. So this is initially put together by The Intercept. Their video is like 4 minutes long, so I cut it down to about a minute here. And it's just a bunch of reporters basically pushing the White House to escalate with Russia.
Is the president showing enough strength against Putin?
It sounds like, we're pretty dug in on our position when it comes to the no-fly zone, when it comes to the MiGs, despite this growing bipartisan call in Congress to shift a little bit.
Secretary Austin said they do not support the transfer of additional fighter aircraft at this time. Is that still the United States' position?
President Zelensky's going to be speaking to Congress tomorrow. He's been pushing for fighter jets, a no-fly zone. You have to hear some of those same requests tomorrow as well. Has the administration shifted on that at all?
Though, calling for a no-fly zone. They're a NATO member. They share a border with Russia. How do we view their calls for a no-fly zone?
There are reports that a Russian drone made its way into Polish airspace before going back to Ukraine and being shot down. Does a drone into Poland count?
Does a drone quickly flying in and out of Poland, does that count? Is that enough for you to start World War III? Come on, start World War III. These people are crazy. It is so they really need like a reality check. They need a different perspective. Like talk to somebody that does not work for a defense contractor. Like please talk to somebody else. It is wild. There, luckily, if you watch the Intercept's video, they have Ryan Grimm, who worked for the Intercept. They show his clip where he's asking about, diplomacy, trying to end this peacefully. Those questions are incredibly rare. It goes to show you just how surprising Biden has been in his strength in not caving to this bullshit. He has been surprisingly strong in at least a couple areas of foreign policy, both in Afghanistan in terms of pulling out, and here with Ukraine in not escalating with Russia. It's, not something I expected from Joe Biden, but it's welcomed.